Welcome back to another video by Motel Coach, and we're back with GuestPoint PMS. Today we're going to be looking at the Revenue Maximizer, GuestPoint's inbuilt rate management tool. We can access this section by clicking Management, we can access this tool by clicking Management, and then Setup, and then Revenue Maximizer and Channels. What is Revenue Maximizer in GuestPoint PMS? Revenue Maximizer is a tool that lets you increase or decrease your room rates based on the occupancy of your motel and how many days before arrival a guest is booking. So if we have a look at the page, at the very top we've got an important toggle button, Enable Revenue Maximizer. If this is switched off, no Revenue Maximizer rules will be applied. As we move down the page, you've got rate types. So we can apply Revenue Maximizer to all rate types, or we can just select a few. We're going to have all of the rate types selected. The next section is the first range option. So we can set it for 0 to 3 days as it currently is. What this means is that these two rules will be applied when a guest is booking 0 to 3 days before arrival. So if we said, well, we only want it to apply between 0 and 2 days, then the rule would now be 0 to 2 days. So if occupancy is under 70%, 0 to 2 days before booking, we can reduce the rates by $10. If the occupancy is over 90%, 0 to 2 days before arrival, we want to increase the rates by $10. And we've got the option as well, we don't need to have both of these in play. So we can say, well, if the occupancy is under 70%, we don't think that reducing the rate is going to increase our bookings, we can untick this option. And vice versa. If between 0 and 2 days before arrival, we think that increasing the rate by $10 won't have a positive effect on our total revenue, we can untick this box. As you scroll down, you can set rules up based on additional date ranges. So 3 to 14 days for mid-range bookings. We're going to increase and decrease the rate, but our occupancy percentages are not as high or low. So if occupancy is under 60% between 3 and 14 days, we're going to reduce the rate by just $5. And if the occupancy is above 80%, 3 to 14 days before arrival, we're going to increase the rate by $5. We can do the same thing across multiple date ranges. We're not going to continue to go through each one as they function in the exact same way. One thing to look at is if you receive a group booking for 20 rooms and that pushes your occupancy above 70% and you're in, say, the max range booking, so you're 181 to 365 days before arrival, and it pushes you up over that 70% as I've indicated, that's going to increase your rate by $10. This group booking may occur on a really quiet period, so you're increasing your rate over a really quiet period, and you may find that this additional $10 pushes you above the other competitors in your market, even though there's no demand for those dates. So while the revenue maximizer can work in your favor and drive additional revenue, keep in mind that it still is fairly static with how it adjusts your rates. With that in mind, I really still like the idea of adjusting your longer range rates. You'll often find that events that you don't have in your calendar yet will pop up and the property will get fully booked out. So we can look at options like setting the occupancy when we're over 50%. This far out, we could increase it by $30. That means that once 50% of your property gets booked, our rates for all room types are going to go up by $30. Now that's quite a bit, but keep in mind that if an event pops up that's going to sell out your entire town, increasing the rates by $30, you're going to catch a lot of additional revenue that would have otherwise been lost. The important step when putting in a restriction or a rate increase like this is to have it on your calendar. Monitor when a rate increase occurs and adjust the strategy as you go. It's not a set and forget when it comes to revenue management or using the revenue maximizer tool. That's all for the video today on the revenue maximizer in GuestPoint PMS. The tool has many benefits, but make sure you manage it actively. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section below. We've also included a link to our new book, The Essential Guide to Motel Management. Now this book is packed with resources, tools, and lessons gained from experience managing motels and hotels.